Well, hello everybody. It's Monday, the 23rd, and time for a little crypto snack. The real snack today, delicious grape, and well, excuse me for this. They're really good. Grapes are good for, I think, for detoxing. I don't know. But anyways, so there's this pretty interesting news stories about a country that's like 2 hours down the road here, called El Salvador, and the president now wants to build a Bitcoin city, which I think is fantastic. Like a regular city with living houses and or like commercial areas and a beautiful park that looks like a Bitcoin and all that stuff. And he says the only thing they want to raise is VAT tax. That's all. No other taxes, and it's only supposed to pay for the garbage and all that, and to pay the bonds. Yeah, so what they want to do is issue bonds that are backed by Bitcoin. So basically, with the money, they want to buy Bitcoin and lock that up for a couple of years, and then eventually sell it on the market, and the gains that they expect will help to build the city. So you as an investor, just let me explain a bond real quick. You as an investor, you would put in money and you get a bond, meaning you get a little bit of money every year, and then after a certain lock time, you'll get your money back. And the idea is for corporations or governments to raise money to create such a thing like a city like this. So he says it will cost about 300,000 Bitcoin, which is at the time around $17 billion, and which is a lot. It's a lot of Bitcoin. So 300,000 Bitcoin you'd have to have and take it off the market. They would want to take half of it off the market, which will be about 150,000 Bitcoin, which will be a lot, because if you look at what really is liquid, there's not a lot of Bitcoin out there right now, and it's getting less and less. If you look at a really good crypto YouTuber, his name is Arcane Bear. He shows you the charts of Glassnode, and you see there's basically no Bitcoin left. So that will make it really scarce, and it is already a very scarce asset, anyways. So interesting concept. I don't really know if it will work out. I don't even know if they will get that much Bitcoin that they can be able to take it off the market, because it obviously will go up in price the more you take out. So I don't know. I think it's very interesting. The link to the article is in the description. It's definitely going to be the first city that is like this. And maybe this one concept, I don't know if it will work. I also do not understand in all detail how they want to implement it. Like if you as an investor give them the Bitcoin, that would be the other possibility. But I think backing it with Bitcoin is definitely a smart idea, because the money value will go up. Like the US dollar value will go up. The problem is, will they be able to actually have the Bitcoin physically? They talk about working with Bitfinex and issuing bonds. I don't know if they issue them on Bitfinex. I don't know if that's possible, but Bitfinex itself has been a bit in the news for shady works. So that's a bit of a red flag for me there. But all in all, I think it's a pretty interesting concept. And if this one doesn't work, it's at least an idea that's now out there, and other countries will see this and probably think about similar things, similar ideas, and eventually, we might find a solution that really works and fits, and value will go up. Bitcoin, the value of Bitcoin, which we represent in US dollars, is one thing. You have to think the other way around too. It's like, okay, so the US dollar compared to the Bitcoin gets less and less and less power. So where $1 would buy you 5 Bitcoin some years ago, now in order to get 1 Bitcoin you need $60,000. So you can think Bitcoin goes up, but I can also think, wow, okay, the US dollar is massively inflating. So anyways, that's the story for the day, the news story for the day. And I think it leads to an interesting thought of, like, the whole concept of Bitcoin, why cryptocurrency initially is a good thing is because it is, you cannot inflate it. Like, there is only so much Bitcoin. There will ever only be 21 million Bitcoin, and of those 21 million, I don't know how many millions are lost. So effectively, there's only so much Bitcoin on the market, and there will ever only be so much Bitcoin on the market. And it's crazy to think, like, all the pressure it gets to go up in US dollar value, which eventually doesn't mean much. If the US dollar crashes, it's like the German marks back in the days, where one bread would be $300 million on the sudden, because the mark just becomes absolutely worthless, right? US dollar isn't backed by anything. You have to think about that. Bitcoin isn't necessarily backed by any value in physical form, but it is backed by the fact that you cannot just create more, and you can verify where it is. So, and the verification isn't made by a central party. So people buy it to hoard it, keep it, because it will eventually go up in price, because it's a good hedge against the US dollar, even though it is so volatile. So it's a very interesting thought, because there will never ever be more than 21 million Bitcoin. And so there's only so much. And now seeing governments, starting to think of making cities that are backed by Bitcoin, shows you how much value is behind those coins. So I think this is it for it today. I don't want to make long videos because it gets very boring, and people have only so much time to really stay focused. So check it out. If you don't know Bitcoin, go check it out, because you have to learn that right now we're in a process. It's very all over the place, and there is ETFs like futures, but that's like not the real Bitcoin. You don't hold the Bitcoin. If you have a Bitcoin on an exchange, you don't know if the exchange really holds any Bitcoin. Maybe they're just trading it. So the value really is only there when you hold the Bitcoin in a wallet. And what that all means we can go into later, but just know that there is in essence only 21 million, but there's all these products built upon it which are not really Bitcoin itself. So it will get messy, because all that stuff, I don't know how it's going to play out, but I think it's going to be messy. But if you hold some Bitcoin in a wallet, in a private wallet, and you have the key to that, I think you're on the good side. So yeah, all right, I'm going to eat another grape, and I wish you a wonderful day. Cheers.